Hi guys, welcome to Jane Talks. Um, I have something a little bit different this week. Um, I've been reading this book and I had forgotten all about, I read the book once before. It's called Confidence of a Champion and it's by Tim Marks. I got to meet him a couple years ago and he has a really impressive story and he's a very strong man emotionally. He's been through a lot in his life, and his story is remarkable. Anyway, I had forgotten that this poem was in the book. And to me, this poem, I'm going to read it to you. If you can just bear with me for that. I'll read it, and then I'll explain to you what it kind of made me think about. The poem is called The Touch of the Master's Hand, and it's by Myra Brooks Welsch. 'Twas battered and scarred, and the auctioneer thought it scarcely worth his while to waste much time on the old violin, but he held it up with a smile. "What am I biddin', good folks?" he cried. "Who'll start the bidding for me? $1, then two. Only two? $2, and who'll make it three? $3 once, $3 twice, going for three." But no. From the room, far back, a gray-haired man came forward and picked up the bow. Then wiping the dust from the old violin and tightening the loosened strings, he played a melody pure and sweet, as the caroling angel sings. The music ceased, and the auctioneer, with a voice that was quiet and low, said, "What am I bid for the old violin?" And he held it up with the bow. $1,000, and who'll make it two? 2,000, and who'll make it three? 3,000 once, 3,000 twice, and going and gone, he said. The people cheered. But some of them cried, "We do not quite understand. What changed its worth?" Swift came the reply, the touch of the master's hand. And many a man with life out of tune and battered and scarred with sin is auction cheap to the thoughtless crowd, much like the old violin. A mess of pottage, a glass of wine, a game, and he travels on. He is going once and going twice, he's going and almost gone. But the master comes, and the foolish crowd never can quite understand the worth of a soul and the change that is wrought by the touch of the master's hand. This poem, it's been around for a long time, and I remember my grandfather saying it, I remember my father saying it, and in my head, my grandfather played a violin. I was never blessed to hear him play it. I do remember him playing a harmonica, but never the violin. And in my head, this poem paints a picture that my grandfather is that old man. And for me, sorry, I'm getting a little emotional. For me, this poem is all about your worth. So when you've been beaten down, when life has handed you some challenges that you really are having a problem challenging your thinking and pushing past the limiting beliefs, and it just seems a little overwhelming to you. It seems like inevitably somebody comes along, whether it be your mentor, whether it be a close friend, family, somebody comes along and shows you your worth and reminds you of who you are. And that process is just as important as how we view ourselves on a regular basis. Sometimes we need help. Sometimes we need help to remember our worth, to remember who we are, to remember what we stand for, and to remember to keep fighting, to keep going. Don't give up. And to me, that's what this poem means to me. Anyway, it's a beautiful poem, and I love that it's in this book, probably because of what it means to me and because of how many times I remember hearing it growing up and what an impressive picture it paints. You know, we often hear beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and that's so true in so many ways, in so many different ways. The best things in life are truly free. You can't put a value on those things. Just like, you know, the MasterCard commercials that talk about, you know, water park tickets $100, junk food to feed the kids $40. You know, the smile on your kids' faces, priceless, right? And the same is true for us personally. The things that contribute to positivity and happiness and real joy and peace for us are often the things that we neglect to do as often as we should. And I know I said the word should. We all know deep down there somewhere what we need. And it's so important that we remain connected to that in order to be the best we can be and experience fullness in life and happiness and peace. And sometimes that takes the touch of the Master's hand. So I hope that you enjoyed that poem too, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Talk to you next week.